lastly, a quick note on Argus. What is Argus? It's really just a software program that real estate investors use to project cash flows for commercial property types or where you have long-term leases. It can be used for completing underwritings, but it's almost never done. Most of the time, folks just input lease assumptions and then output them to Excel and calculate returns there. But Argus does have the functionality to do the entire underwriting. And so you may be asking yourself, why do we use Argus in the first place if we're only going to use it to get halfway through our modeling in the times we do use it? It's helpful because if you think about an office building, if you got an office building, you have 10 tenants, every tenant's going to have a different set of terms associated with their lease. And many of which are going to require different methods of calculating cash flows. And so Argus really helps us summarize those different sorts of assumptions. And then lastly, if you think about having a building, you've got tenants who are going to move out or stay at different periods of time. And there's going to be a certain probability that you're going to associate with each of those tenants in determining whether or not they're going to be in your building in the future. And so Argus really helps us summarize the leases as well as use some statistics and some probabilities to project cash flows forward, which is possible in Excel, but it would become very, very, very complicated. And so, what we've got here are just some snapshots from an Argus file. This top screen here is really the main sheet that you would be seeing in an Argus file. You'll see you've got a property tab, market assumptions, revenues, expenses, tenants. And so you would dive into each of those tabs to fill in more details. And on this tab is where you see some of the summary information like property name, the analysis begin date, just very high level information. Down here, I've got a quick snapshot of the market tab. You'll see once you click into the market tab, you've got a lot of different options here. You've got market leasing assumptions, market rent assumptions, free rent, and you can see we've got those percentages that I was talking about. So we're not going to spend time talking through Argus. You can go do that separately, but we will be leveraging outputs from Argus. So what are the key things you should take away about Argus? Most entry-level positions are not going to expect you to come in with a fluency in Argus. If you're a student, you should check with your career office. I remember when I was in college, our career office offered weekend Argus trainings, which I found to be very useful going into a career in real estate. And most modeling tests, if you're going to work for a private equity firm or a real estate investment firm, they expect you to be able to manipulate the outputs from Argus rather than build the cash flows within Argus. That's usually something you'll learn on the job.